Welcome to the Ultimate Music Theory Basic Rudiments Lesson 7. In Lesson 6, you learned how to add the relative minor keys to the circle of fifths, plus the UMT tip on how to remember the natural, harmonic, and melodic minor scales. In Lesson 7, you'll learn how to write triads in both the major and relative minor keys. Plus, I'll show you the UMT tip that I call the accidental Triad Salute to help you remember where to place accidentals when writing triads. Now, a triad is a three-note chord consisting of the root, the lowest note, a third above, and a fifth above the root. A triad can be built on any degree of the scale. In Lesson 5, we learned intervals. A major triad is written using an interval of a major third and a perfect fifth above the root. A minor triad is written using an interval of a minor third and a perfect fifth above the root. In Basic Rudiments, you'll be teaching how to build root position triads. A root position triad is simply written as all line notes or all space notes. Triads are written on the first degree of a scale called the tonic, the fourth degree of the scale called the subdominant, and the fifth degree of the scale called the dominant. Roman numerals are used to indicate the scale degree of the lowest note or the root. We use uppercase letters for the major triads and lowercase letters for the minor triads. In the key of C major, the tonic, subdominant, and dominant triads are all major, as the intervals for each triad are a major third and a perfect fifth above the root. In the key of C minor, the tonic and subdominant triads are minor, as the intervals for each minor triad are a minor third and a perfect fifth above the root. These are called tonic major and tonic minor keys, as they have the same tonic note of C and the same dominant triad because of the raised seventh note in C minor. Here's a little tip to remember the dominant triad, which is built on the fifth degree of the major or harmonic minor scale. It's always major. A dominant triad of a minor key uses the raised seventh note of the harmonic minor scale. For example, the dominant triad of F minor is the C major triad. Triads may be written using a key signature or accidentals. When using a key signature, the dominant triad belongs to only one key. For example, the key signature is 2 sharps, so this dominant triad belongs to D major. The key signature has 1 flat. The dominant triad contains an accidental of the raised seventh note, C sharp, of the harmonic minor scale. So this dominant triad of A, C sharp, E belongs to D minor. A dominant triad contains an interval of a major third and a perfect fifth above the root for both the major and harmonic minor keys. When using accidentals, the dominant triad belongs to both the tonic major and the tonic minor key. Remember, tonic means the first note of the key. To determine the key of a dominant triad, simply count down 5 letter names from the root of the triad: A, G, F, E, D. The dominant triad of A, C sharp, E belongs to both D major and D minor. Here's a UMT tip. When writing solid triads with accidentals, use the accidental Triad Salute to help you remember where to place all those accidentals. The accidental Triad Salute is top, bottom, middle. Do the actions with me. Top, bottom, middle. When we engage our body, we retain 80% more. So have your students do the accidental Triad Salute. Top, bottom, middle. So they'll always remember where to place all those accidentals. When the triad contains 2 accidentals, the accidental is written closest to the higher note, the top, and further away from the lower note, the bottom. When the triad contains 3 accidentals, the accidental is written closest to the highest note, the top, further away from the lowest note, the bottom, and furthest away from the middle note. For example, the dominant triad of C sharp minor. To determine the dominant or the fifth note of C sharp, we count up from C. C, D, E, F, G. So the notes of the triad are G, B, D. The circle of fifths indicates that C sharp minor is related to E major. So it has four sharps: F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. We have G sharp and D sharp in the triad. The raised seventh note of C sharp minor is B sharp, so all the notes require accidentals. So use the accidental triad salute: top, bottom, middle. In our 7th Ultimate Music Theory Basic Rudiments lesson, you learned major and minor triads built on the tonic, subdominant, and dominant degrees of a scale, and why a dominant triad is always major. You also learned the UMT tip for the accidental triad salute: top, bottom, middle. In our next video, Ultimate Music Theory Basic Rudiments Lesson 8, you'll learn how to use the innovative UMT symbols that make adding rest to rhythm questions easy. We'll cover simple time signatures, plus you'll learn when a whole rest fills a whole measure and when it doesn't. Till next time, teach with passion.